Honestly, my apartment here kind of feels like a train cabin. You know, when you're walking down a narrow corridor. Even though it's super small and compact, it has pretty much all the functional areas of a full-sized apartment. Guys, this apartment is actually an experiment for me because I travel a lot these days and I've been living here for 2 months. So what's the idea behind it? The apartment is tiny, only 248 square feet, but it has an amazing social area. The layout includes a living room, a kitchen area, a sleeping zone, and a workspace. If one person wants to sleep while the other is still up, you can close off the space with this partition. Now, about the kitchen living area itself, well, it's tiny, but packed with functional things. For example, there's an extra table here. Honestly, this is actually the main dining table, but since we don't really use it, we got another table that we sit at. We've got a cool sofa here that you can set up in different ways. These ottomans can be rearranged so you can set them up as a little lounge here or even a seat over there. This spot here totally feels like a train dining car to me. You're sitting here eating and it's like the attendant could pass by with tea any moment. What else is here? There's full storage here with a pull-out system. One downside is the oven and microwave. They're down low, so you have to bend to reach them. But as you can see, all these functional elements have shelves integrated throughout. For example, I keep my English study materials right here. I'm really focused on learning English right now to take my company international and bring our YouTube channel, which is now in English, to a global audience. There's also a unique solution in the living room that you might find interesting. I see this a lot here. These panels on the walls. You don't need to prep the walls for finishing. As long as they're flat, you just put up these panels and they install super quickly. Actually, the entire apartment perimeter is done with these panels. Visually, it's divided into a few sections. First, there's the hallway with the bathroom separated by this slatted partition. Why is this slatted partition here? It's to hide the air conditioning vent. See, it's tucked behind the slats. By the way, the ventilation system is hidden the same way here. There's a black base with grates, and on top of that is the ventilation grill. And as you can see, it's all flush with this partition. To visually remove this partition from the space, it's made with a mirror. This mirror reflects natural light beautifully. The same trick with mirrors is used in the kitchen, but there's one issue with mirrors. They get fingerprints. And by the way, to keep your cabinets cleaner, make these little niches. In all our projects, we add these niches so you can reach in, open, and minimize smudging the facade. Here's a fridge, small and low, but it's enough for 2 people. We also use this part for kitchen storage since we need more room for grains. See how inconvenient it is to open. By the way, a few months ago, I made a video on beautiful but inconvenient solutions. If you're interested, check the link in the description. Also, if you hate clutter on the kitchen counter, you can get a sponge holder to keep it hidden. And you can buy a nice jar if there's no dispenser and put it here instead of there. Makes washing much easier too. The downside to this kitchen is the very small cooktop. As you can see, it's a 1-burner cooktop with a grill. If it were a 2-burner, it would be more convenient. Here, there's a full workspace, a desk where you can sit and work. Here's a cool hack. We cut a hole in the countertop, added an insert, and placed outlets inside. So you can run all cables through it and keep your desk wire-free. Really handy. We're pulling ideas from all over the world to see what we can bring into our projects. So if you want an awesome space designed with global insights, feel free to reach out to our studio. Our designers, including me, travel around, exploring spaces and bringing those ideas into our projects. Link is in the description. Since the bed is right by the window and doesn't have bedside tables, the side shelves act as nightstands. You can see my sleep mask here. These shelves continue above, so you can place your phone there when you sleep, and there's a small shelf running along the other side too. You can keep tissues, a sleep mask, or your phone there too. The spaceship control panel is located here. Honestly, we don't use all these switches. Everything is controlled through a smart home app with lighting scenarios, so if you want to sleep, you press a button and all the lights turn off. You can control each room here, and the best part? Here's a lock. You press the key icon, bring your phone to the lock, and it opens. And of course, waking up in this bed is pure bliss, with a crazy view that looks like a magazine picture. I never get tired of looking at this view. So friends, if you have a choice to buy a small apartment with a stunning view or a slightly bigger one with a less amazing view, always go for the great view. It will brighten your day, every day. The main thing is, you know what's under this bed. It's like a mini Narnia with a large storage system where you can store almost anything. Here we have suitcases and boxes, and these drawers are also usable for storage. Next is a proper storage system. Here's my girlfriend's section. It's double-sized and larger. This part is mine, with pull-out drawers for my t-shirts. Honestly, one drawer is enough for me. See, there's a small chair mounted on the wall here, so if guests come over and we need extra seating, we can just unfold this chair, set it up, and have a seat. And the entryway itself is also small. Here's where we keep shoes. For less mess, consider black shoes. They look really nice. The bathroom is quite small, and here's a trick we used. The sink isn't very deep, but the countertop extends over the toilet, providing extra space for things as the bottom conceals the plumbing, while the top serves as an extra surface. There are pull-out drawers, and here's a neat feature. A sliding mirror that opens up to storage. You see, there's a niche here for a hairdryer with outlets inside, but we keep a tall... I forgot what it's called. Leave me a comment to remind me. The shower is pretty small, suitable for one person. There's a rainfall shower, and for ladies who don't want to wet their hair, there's a handheld shower head. There's also a niche finished in the same color as the tiles. It's a fun tile effect, an architectural trick where one wall and the wall opposite are done in the same color, while the other walls are in a different color. It adds a sense of balance, which we use in our interiors, and many architects and designers use it too. Because when people see some kind of pattern or logic, they find it beautiful. We're wired that way, subconsciously searching for order, and when we find it, we think it's wonderful. In the hallway, there are panels on both sides, and to make the space feel larger, they added lighting at the bottom. Also, since there's no washing machine in my apartment, there's a shared laundry room on each floor. Let me show you. Here, there's a washing machine, dryer, sink, iron, and even a small steamer. By the way, the sink has taps with drinking water, so instead of installing water in every apartment, they provided one drinking water source per floor. You can come with your pitcher, fill it up, and take it home. No need to buy those big bottles. If you need to wait for your laundry, there's a bench where you can enjoy the ocean view. The great thing about this place is the amazing shared spaces. And this is Otto, the interior designer of this place. Otto, hi!
Pleased to meet you.
Could you tell us, please, what was the concept behind this place?
Here we are at TownPlace, West Kowloon. It's a park hotel, which consists of a hotel and a service apartment all together in one place. So the idea is, unlike a typical hotel, the way that we structure it, we wish to create a new residential experience for people who enjoy the life, who enjoy meeting different friends, who enjoy being part of a community here. You'll experience a very large public area. So we expect that this 5,000 square meter public area, including indoor and outdoor area, there are gym areas, there is like areas that you can work, that you can drink, that you can eat, that you can play and meet friends, and there are also areas that are catered for your personal space. So there are areas where you can stay alone.
Can you show examples of areas where you can be by yourself but still in a shared space?
For example, we have this kind of small rooms, area that you take a phone call, but it can be also an area that you can stay here for a whole day. It's not that big, but this personal space is very ideal for having a quiet time yourself, or enjoying like a conversation with your friend over the phone, or do your work over a laptop. So we have designed different areas like this, all dispersed in the public area throughout the TownPlace.
And tell us about the ideas behind this area.
In the creative studio, we expect like people as creative as you can actually use this space for making movies or even watching a TVs. It is kind of like a on-demand living room. So every resident can come here and then actually rent the room and also meet other residents in this room. So a lot of our rooms here, you can see that they're basically constructed with glass. The glass allows some transparency in the room, so that when you're inside the room, you still feel that you're with the public area. So you can feel the area and spacious quality. But at the same time, you can look at our glass, it's double glazed. There is air in between, which allow a perfect soundproofing for the room. So when you're having like a movie night inside, you won't disturb people who are working outside the room. It allows a lot of flexibility, and then there are lots of sun-absorbing materials inside to make sure that you have a very nice, enjoyable movie night. This is a space that is dedicated to a lot of exploration with food. So people can rent this space for the small parties. They can actually cook here. We have 4 kitchens here that you can use for like making dinners, like whether for yourself or for a group of friends. So this is a space that is so connected with a lot of greens. Because we want this space to give you a very fresh experience with fresh produce and so on. So we also have different vending machines here, which you can actually buy your ingredients to make your own food. So as you can see, this space is can enjoy like plenty amount of sun. And it's very richly decorated with different plants, and then you can see the connection with the outdoor area is so cozy, so natural, and so relaxed. And we really love this space. And this is also a space where you can eat with friends. You can also work here. You can read the book here. You can just relax and spend the entire afternoon here.
Friends, there's also an amazing shared space here, the Terrace. I've actually watched movies here in the evening, admiring the stunning views of Hong Kong. It's simply amazing.
This is a very nice terrace. I actually love this a lot. This is one of my favorite spots at TownPlace. And this is a space, this is an open lawn. We didn't actually do a lot of things, but we simply put sofas and planters at 2 corners so that there is a sort of like quiet space that you can actually enjoy the beautiful skyline views, especially during the night or during the sunset time, as you can see now. So this is also an open lawn. Where people can gather. You can actually do a picnic here. So we encourage people to come outside and also enjoy the space.
Could you tell us what's on the floor below?
We're in the middle of the clubhouse area. So there is a floor above and then a floor below. So the floor above are dedicated to the gymnasium, the swimming pool, and then the floor above is also dedicated to like exercising space all throughout the Sky Garden. But there are also like barbecue spaces, there are spaces for the dogs. On the other side, it is the high bar, which has the bar counter and then also the bar tape, which allows you to buy a beer very easily. So it's connected to the swimming pool above and also the barbecue area below. So we expect that people actually can carry the beer to the pool and then also down to the barbecue space. So together, like different spaces have their own connectivity and also the interactions. So you're not only staying or using only one space, but you are actually like using multiple space at the same time. That's also encouraged.
Friends, there's a gym on the floor above, and it's quite large with an amazing view.
We have 2 gyms here. There is a mindful gym on the other side, and this one is the Beast. So the idea is to have a mindful and the Beast. So the Beast more focuses on more energetic trainings. So there are weight training, and there are also other trainings such as you can have a treadmill to run. So this is more about the energy side. So you can see that the whole interior is designed for that purpose. Mindful Studio is in contrast with the Beast Studio. We try to create a space that is quieter, that has a slower pace, especially for ladies who wish to practice their yoga here, practice their meditation here. Depending on the weather, you can do it indoor or outdoor. Normally, in many hotel or residential buildings in Hong Kong, there is only one gym, but we want to create 2 of them and with a very, very different mood. So different people with different personalities can choose the space that they feel comfortable with.
Oh, this is so cool. I really love how well they've used the view here. You can see the whole island of Hong Kong.
In this TownPlace, most of the rooms enjoy the panoramic harbor view. So when we design the interior, we have sort of arranged everything, all the configurations tailored to the view. So as if you are extending your living space out of the windows and to the very beautiful harbor view.
Guys, this is a really important point. When you're creating your space, a panoramic window with a wide view will visually expand the area. For example, every apartment I've designed for myself has had a beautiful view. Even though they were small, they never felt cramped because there was a sense of spaciousness.
In Hong Kong, the rent or the price of residential spaces is very, very expensive. So everyone is living in a small residential space. And that's why we have to design it really well. We have to organize the storage very well. We have to organize the furniture and also the configuration of the space so that you feel actually in a larger room than what it is actually.
Could you talk about the techniques you use for small spaces to visually enlarge them in apartments and flats?
In order to design a livable small space, we have to be very conscious about how we configure the furniture and the storages. So we have to make sure that everything, for example, in TownPlace, in the unit, we have to make sure that the priority is always the view. So the organizations of everything will help to make way for the views. And so everything is also allows you to organize in a very neat way so that there are not many nuances throughout the flat. And then we have to make sure that it's comfortable and everything makes sense in its own way. So you can live there very comfortably. We are at the lobby space. This is the first space that you would experience as someone new to TownPlace. So we designed this large volume with a lot of different materials, a lot of different tectonics. So it's as if it's a collage of many interesting things, which is also very Hong Kong. Hong Kong is a city with high density, a lot of things are happening. It's very eventful. And it's kind of like a collage, but a very well-balanced collage of many ideas, many cultures, many people. And so we wish to create a lobby that represents that. So here at the lobby, we also have a cafe and bar kiosk, and as well as a convenience store. So these are also the two things that you can find in many active streets in Hong Kong. It's so convenient that there are convenience stores everywhere, and there are also small cafes and small bars everywhere. And so this is the kind of richness of life that you can find in Hong Kong. It's so flexible, so convenient, and then there are energy everywhere. And we also want to capture it in this lobby space.
I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave your questions in the comments. I'll try to get Otto on our YouTube channel so he can respond to your comments. Bye.